Welcome to the Week 12 edition of the Touchdown Prop Show here on the DFSG Plus YouTube channel. My name is Axton Harding, and each week I lay out a handful of guys in which I'll be making bets on to find the end zone on any given week. I lay out the research that I've done that led me to these handful of players, and if any speak to you guys, feel free to tell. Otherwise, we're just hoping to provide a little bit of entertainment here. So let's drop that intro and get right into the data. Welcome back to the DFSG Plus YouTube channel. My name is Axton Harding, and on this show, we've got the Touchdown Prop Show. So each and every week, we give a handful of players in which I think are in good spots to find the end zone. Usually try to find some plus money here so that we can come away with a little extra cash to perhaps take those families out or pad those pockets a little extra on any given week. But again, this isn't even suggestions. It's more or less just research I've done to place bets of my own. So feel free to tail if you like. If not, no big deal. No big deal either. So let's jump right into our four plays for week 12. Right off the top, we've got Jaylen Warren with an anytime touchdown at plus 125. This week he plays at the Chicago Bears. And over the last 6 weeks, Jaylen Warren has averaged 13 rushes and over 5 yards per carry on average per game in that time. It's been incredible efficiency if you go look at the numbers in that 6-game stretch. He's been pretty well rolling out of the backfield, granted that he can stay healthy. That's the only caveat here, is that he's battled some injuries in that time as well, but reports say he's good to go for week 12. Now, this matchup against Chicago is an intriguing one as well, where all three of their top linebackers are out this week, so they're relying on an LB4 and LB5 to man the middle of that defense, which is going to leave plenty of holes for Jaylen Warren to just kind of have his way with this team, and if they can get within scoring position, I feel good about him to be able to find the end zone. Chicago's already giving up modest production over the last month with 365 yards and 3 touchdowns to the running back position overall in that time. And being the lead back for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Jaylen Warren will likely get the first crack at a touchdown inside the red zone. He's got 8 touches inside the 5, and he's converted on a quarter of them. So we're looking at a good spot for Jaylen Warren, who's been incredibly efficient as of late. I imagine he gets rewarded this week and ends up finding the end zone. Granted, he can finish the game and remain healthy. So love Jaylen Warren this week with an anytime touchdown at plus 125. Now we've got Jameson Williams with an anytime touchdown. He's our next pick here at plus 145. He plays at home this week against the New York Giants. Since Dan Campbell's taken over the play calling for the Detroit Lions in week 10, Jameson Williams has seen a drastic increase in usage and production alike. He's got 207 yards in the last 2 weeks and a touchdown in both weeks. And he also has a touchdown in 4 of his last 5 games. And I believe he has one in 3 straight. So we're looking pretty good with Jameson Williams on kind of a little bit of a hot streak here going into week 12. He's often running a bunch of short crossing routes over the middle, and he's just been having a ton of success. Dan Campbell knows how to use him, and he's really been putting him to very good use as of late. The home game lends well to this as well, where Jared Goff just naturally plays better in that home environment. There's a lot of it's just kind of a different animal up there in Detroit. So they've got the fans to kind of back them as well. Jared Goff performs well at home, so we're looking pretty good there as well. And this matchup against New York even projects to be a top-end matchup as well for the wide receiver position, where New York has given up 5 touchdowns to wide receivers over the last 4 games, which happens to be the 5th most in the league in that time. The secondary is just awful, and Jameson is the team's wide receiver too, so he's likely not getting quite the attention that Amon-Ra St. Brown will be, and he's likely going to be getting the second best defender in that cornerback room guarding him. So love this spot, love the price for Jameson Williams for an anytime touchdown plus 145. So I was talk about our third play this week. We've got Hunter Henry with an anytime touchdown at plus 180. This week he plays at the Cincinnati Bengals. Hunter Henry is tied for team lead with Stephon Diggs for targets inside the 20. He's converted 3 of his 6 catches for touchdowns so far this season, and he hasn't scored in the last 3 games, so we're looking at a good bounce-back spot for Hunter Henry. As of late, he's had a few tough matchups, and Travion Henderson's kind of been running wild, so they've been really operating through the run game. But this week, he's playing the league's most generous defense to the tight end position so far this season, where the Cincinnati Bengals have given up 12 touchdowns to tight ends in just 10 games played. 3 in the last 4 games alone. So I think this is a great bounce back spot for Hunter Henry to find pay dirt in week 12 for an anytime touchdown at plus 180. Got some nice plus money there. Now let's wrap it up here with our fourth play this week. We've got Tetairoa McMillan with an anytime touchdown at plus 145, and this week he plays the San Francisco 49ers in San Francisco. He's coming off a scorcher last week versus a reeling Atlanta Falcons team where he caught 8 of 12 passes for 130 yards and 2 scores. McMillan finds himself in a good spot to carry that momentum into week 12. He's the unquestioned favorite target overall and in the red zone. He's got 14 targets inside the 20 and leads the second favorite, which is Sanders, by 5 targets in that space. He's converted on 4 of those for 4 touchdowns inside the red zone, and against the San Francisco team who's been generous to the tight end position of late in terms of the touchdown department. They've given up the 4th most among teams that are not on bye week this week. 4th most wide receiver touchdowns in the last 4 weeks with 6 touchdowns. So again, this is an incredible spot for a guy who he and his quarterback both just had career best performances in week 11. I expect them to continue that success, carry it into week 12, and hopefully we can cash on a Tetairoa McMillan anytime touchdown at plus 145. So that's going to wrap up the show, guys. I'll kind of recap here. We've got Jaylen Warren with an anytime touchdown at plus 125 at Chicago. Jameson Williams anytime touchdown plus 145 against New York Giants at home in Detroit. Hunter Henry with an anytime touchdown at plus 180, and he plays at Cincinnati. Tetairoa McMillan wraps up the show here with an anytime touchdown at plus 145, and he plays at San Francisco this week. So that's going to wrap up the show, guys. Thank you for tuning in. And we'll see you back next week for another edition of the Touchdown Props Podcast.